Okay, did a little more drawing here, put some stuff together. I'm going to show you what I did. I set that elevator right there between the bins. I put a big dump pit in. I put conveyors out to the other bins just to see how that would look, and put the conveyors in there. That way you can load trucks right out of there and pull along, load a truck at high speed. That'll be very handy. Right here, there's a conveyor layout 4 that I have in them bins. So that's the conveyor layout for them bins. For the unloads, I show a dump pit in here. I'm going to show that in a little more detail in a minute. We can move that in a little bit. Can move that in a little bit. The only thing is these tails, these side draws, we may want to put in the 6th ring, because if we have them in the 5th ring, you're going to have to get really tight to this bin pad to load. So you're going to have to be right up against them conveyors to load. So I'm going to say put them in the 6th ring in 44-inch rings. That way they come out far enough. Unless these bin pads are higher than 3 foot. If they're only 3 foot high, then we're going to want them in the 6th ring. If you got a 4 or 5 foot bin pad, then we can keep them in the 5th ring. So looking this over, this is what I put together. I got a 140 foot discharge on that elevator, and that is beautiful, beautiful spout layout, plenty of slope, nothing on the limit. And got them drag conveyors coming up here to unload the bins. That'll all work good. Now we're going to switch around and we're going to look at this dump pit. I've done these before, and what we normally do is take a drag conveyor and run it down in, pour concrete, so we go the full depth for a little bit, then we step up, go a little farther, then come up. Might be a little bit far on this one. That can be fine-tuned if you want me to do the drawing on that. I do have, I think these might actually be drawn as 18-inch thick walls. That way you could actually set an overhead loadout right on these walls if you wanted to. But the way this facility is, we might be able to narrow them walls up a little bit. Now in the past, what I've done is bring a drag conveyor in like this, and then down here in the bottom I throw like a 14-inch U-trough with 2/3 pitch flight, where the tail end sets right on the concrete and it comes up, dumps into the drag conveyor, and then your pit gets built right from the wall, steel right down to the edge of the U-trough. It's real easy that way. Or you could put a drag conveyor in like this, or you can come down, but to get the full length into this drag conveyor, you can do that, but you're going to be quite deep. You're going to be looking at 16 foot deep to hold 1,000 bushel. If you're actually going to hold 1,000 bushel. Now, if you're looking at 800 and saying it's okay if it takes me 3 minutes to unload, then we can change this, where this drag comes in and we have one pit sloping into this drag conveyor. This is just a pre-drawn block I had from another job, so that's why I dropped it in there. But just to get a view on it. So yeah, let me know what measurements you want, if you want anything changed, if you want anything different on the layout, or if you need measurements, let me know. But the elevator has a 140 foot discharge. The bin unload conveyors, 12 foot discharge on them. That's figuring on a 3 foot on the bin pad. That way you got a 15 foot. Even if you have a 4 foot bin pad, you're going to want to stick with the same thing. And then this here depending on what we go with there, I can draw that accordingly and get measurements you want. On these bins from sender to sender, we have, I'll pull a measurement on these two sender bins just so we know a center point to center point for the spacing on them. So that's 92 foot center to center on them two bins. So you have 20 foot bin wall to bin wall, and then a 10-foot tower setting in here, and then that tower pad would pin into these bin walls, into the bin foundations. So that's what we got, and let me know if you want something different on that, or if you want any other measurements, as I can put that together. And that's drawn with 19 ring bins. I think 19. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 18 ring bins. Okay, I thought them pipes looked at a 45, and we don't actually, if we have a 40, we're good. So these measurements, you can have a 19 ring bins, 44-inch sheets. That would not be a problem. So let me know if you want any other information. But yeah, if them pads are 3 foot or less, we may want them side chutes in the 6th ring. Let me know, and I will build it. Until then, this will get you a good starting point, and I can just give you a couple other measurements here, like if we look right here, let's drop a measurement from the center of this dump pit to the first side of the tower, which would basically be discharge of the elevator. So that is 50 foot 8 inches from the center of this to there, to the edge of the tower. 51 foot. So you can get some quotes on some conveyors that way. But that conveyor is at a pretty good incline, with it 51 foot from center of intake to this tower, and then on height we need to have oh, it don't let me do that, so we're gonna have to do this way. So we're gonna have to gain about 25 foot, about 25 foot of height we're gonna have to gain going up here. And yes, we can back this concrete back a little bit if we do go with this design. That was designed for one that where it went out shallower because it was farther to the elevator. So there you have it. Let me know what else you want, and I can put any measurements together. Actually, the other thing, one more thing, these downspouts, figure them downspouts at, they're each going to be 62 foot. So you can figure them 14-inch downspouts at 62 foot. 12K elevator, 10K receiving conveyor, going to the peaks of these bins. So yeah, let me know. I'll put together what you want.